At the start of this series, the 8 most abysmal motorists in the entire country came to our rehabilitation center for guidance. 5 of them have managed to graduate because their driving skills fell into place. These 3 nominees, though, can't seem to graduate. Either they hit other cars or other cars hit them. One of them is Canada's worst driver.
We started with the country's 8 most abysmal motorists. Now we're down to the final 3. Shelby, Jennifer, and Jason all believe they'd be leaving the rehab center after the 2nd or 3rd show.
You think you're going to graduate that fast?
Yeah.
But their consistently atrocious driving has kept them put.
Oh, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Over the next hour, we'll learn which one of them really is Canada's worst driver.
Oh, sorry.
Jason from Vancouver
Sorry.
was nominated as the worst
Oh, sorry.
by his husband, Adrian.
Seems like when he's driving, he is just totally lost.
Since getting to rehab,
Oh, Jason, whoa. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Jason has begged for pardon
Sorry.
hundreds of times.
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
What are your driving issues?
Everything.
Jason's competition in this little dance is a condo-owning, warehouse-working bachelor from Calgary.
Oh my goodness.
Shelby was brought to rehab by his fearful brother, Elric.
But I don't think we're going home tonight.
Shelby has difficulty in tight spaces.
Oh boy.
He's bad in reverse.
Oh, flip.
And he needs help steering at speed.
Oh, shoot.
Shelby does have a big heart,
All right.
but enthusiasm isn't going to help him on the highway.
That did not go good.
And finally, there's our hardest nut to crack.
I don't understand it.
Jennifer was brought to rehab by her boyfriend, John.
Jen's driving makes me extremely nervous.
When Jen got to rehab,
This is hard.
we taught her the proper way to reverse.
This is hard.
We taught her to be decisive.
This is hard.
We taught her vehicle dynamics
That was hard.
and vehicle capabilities.
That was hard.
We even educated Jennifer on how to deal with her hit and runs.
I hit your car. That was so hard.
Jennifer has been making an honest effort.
That was so hard.
But if Jennifer thinks it's been hard so far,
Oh, that was so hard.
she's in for a rude awakening.
That was hard.
Can Canada's worst drivers drive in a straight line? I mean a real, actual, straight line. The first challenge in this all-decisive final episode is to drive in a straight line. Really. There's no twist. This challenge is a short one. They have to go in that straight line at 40 kilometers an hour.
If drivers touch the concrete barriers or fail to hit 40, they have to run the gauntlet again. It might look easy,
But it's not that easy. It's actually really hard on the nerves. Now let's see if Canada's worst drivers can go straight.
I don't think I can do it.
No?
No.
Jennifer is up first.
Off you go. Let's go. Take this really seriously because one of you is going to be named Canada's worst driver.
I want to line myself up. This is crazy.
Oh boy.
On her first 5 attempts,
This is hard.
Jennifer doesn't go 5 meters without rubbing on her passenger side.
I feel like I'm driving on it.
For this challenge, we've installed a non-functioning steering wheel for the passenger to cling to.
Are you holding onto your steering wheel, Jason?
He's trying to steer with it.
She's on the rail, she's on the rail, she's on the rail, she's on the rail.
Jennifer is repeatedly hitting on her right and driving too slow.
32.
I'll get this eventually.
Once again, she's just starting by grinding against the passenger side.
If you're looking to the exit and you hold the wheel and you drive with your eyes, this can be a very simple exercise.
That's Scott Marshall, the Rehab Center's head instructor. At Young Drivers of Canada, Scott teaches the teachers. He's joined here on our expert panel by Philippe Letourneau, Dr. Luisa Gambora, and from the Ontario Provincial Police, Sergeant Cam Woolley.
All she has to do is point it straight and go.
Hunkered down inside our control center, the experts will be watching every bad move the drivers make.
It's a simple straight line, and again, she's always hitting on the right.
At the end of this episode, I will join the experts to decide which person will receive this embarrassing trophy as Canada's worst driver. It's time for Jennifer's 19th attempt at a clean run.
It's not like we're asking her to split the atom. It's just driving in a straight line.
Jennifer just can't do it. Shelby thinks Jennifer would succeed if she just speed up.
Just put the hammer down and go. Aim and go.
It's exactly the advice she needs.
Oh, you did it!
Did I did it?
Yeah.
Did I do it?
Jennifer did it, even if it did take a while.
Oh my God! It took me how long? 27 minutes to
It's
drive
not
on
bad
a straight
at all,
line.
Jen. It's not bad.
Not bad. Jason is up next.
Jason, you don't like this one bit, do you?
Oh no, not at all. But I will give it a try.
Now we'll reset the clock.
And see how long it takes Jason to get on the straight and narrow. 20 minutes pass before Jason even comes close.
Oh, you hit my side.
Oy, 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 it's like a bucking bronco in reverse.
Jason is so frustrated, he wants to throw in the towel.
Oh, I don't care anymore.
You hit 40. I saw you hit 40.
What are you doing?
I'm quit.
You're quitting?
No, I can't do it.
You know, giving up when you're driving an automobile is just wrong.
Dealing with bad drivers is like trying to herd cats.
Get in and go.
Yeah, come on. I have faith in you.
Oh, yeah, please, sure.
That's the second time Jason Zhang has tried to quit his actions here at the rehab center. But no, there's no quitting.
Go, 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 go.
Jason veers into the passenger side, time after time after time after time.
It's hard, it's hard.
Jason, you're hitting on the passenger side every time. Steer a little bit more to your side.
Jason is driving me up the wall. Come to think of it, he's also driving himself up the wall. Ooh. He's now been going for 46 minutes.
Go again. Jason just can't seem to not go to the right.
No. You're gonna hit. Yeah. You're on this side.
Yeah, always on that side, eh?
Go back, and then it'll just be so much easier for you to line it up.
Jason Zhang has been going now for 57 minutes.
Oh,
All right, Jason, are you ready? You're way over your hour already. I can
Okay.
tell by the clock.
All
You're at
right.
about an hour and 7 minutes.
I will get it done.
So this is your last kick at the can, okay?
Okay, I'm going. Sorry, guys.
On his final attempt, Jason grinds against the wall the whole way.
Well, that didn't work out so hot.
Not so good, I know.
Jason isn't looking rehabilitated. It's Shelby's turn.
Are you ready, Shelby?
Yeah.
Shelby's technique is to take a long running start. But like the other bad drivers before him, Shelby hits on the passenger side repeatedly. And when I say repeatedly, I mean he does it 18 times.
Oh,
Close,
you're
Shelby.
so close, Shelby.
Shelby, you're hitting on the passenger side every single time. Cheat yourself a tiny bit over to this side. Well, more than that. Shelby's happy this challenge is driving forward.
Shelby, you're hitting, right?
Hit it.
That's because reversing is an even bigger challenge for Shelby.
That's all right, Shelby. Don't be discouraged.
Shelby's not discouraged, and after a few more attempts, he's enlightened.
Steer a little bit this way.
This road is narrow. I think this could be the one, but there is enough room to steer.
I think he touched.
Shelby did touch.
You're gonna get this. I thought you had it that time.
14 trips later, Shelby creeps up to the halfway point.
Aha, new technique I see.
Then guns it up to 40.
You did?
All right.
Yeah, you can drive in a straight line.
Shelby succeeded. Faster than anyone.
I hope I am not Canada's worst driver. I really, really hope.
When we come back,
I'm stalled.
there's just two little words. Mega Challenge. The candidates for Canada's worst driver have learned how to do donuts.
Like, doing donuts is like a lot harder than it looks.
They've learned to drive a standard.
How do I talk if the clutch is burnt out?
And they've learned how to swerve and avoid. In fact, over the course of 22 challenges, they've learned dozens of driving techniques that will almost all be tested by the next challenge being built by our unsympathetic crew.
This next course will be the last one we build at the rehab center this year. So, our crew is pulling out all the stops. The snaking lane you see is 1 kilometer long, and each nominee will do 1 lap of it. Each lap involves driving 4 separate vehicles, taking 50 separate turns, and avoiding 400 separate obstacles. We call it the Mega Challenge. We call it the Mega Challenge because it's mega. They start with a standing peel out and then launch themselves at the eye of the needle, making a minimum of 40. They have to continue 40 all the way up to a skid and avoid, skid, spin, let go of the brake, and avoid. Then one more little speed component is just getting up to 30 and stopping before the cone.
Then we'll see if they can remember how to control a rear end slide.
They're gonna do a half donut and give it gas, rear end spin, and spin out, just like that. Then they pull in here,
where they change gears by shifting into our standard transmission Lada.
Now, she may look like an ugly old car, but in 4-wheel drive, this Lada can go. Holy smokes!
From there, it's a quick lap around our off-road course.
Don't be worried. Just be sensible. There's my 3rd vehicle. As much as I love this Lada, I never want to see it again. Get in.
Now, it's a precision steering course.
This is super tight.
Pulling into the garage, drivers should realize there isn't enough room to do a clean U-turn.
So that's fine, just reposition. Now begins the reversing part. Man, this is tight. Coming through the garage is still in reverse.
Past a few cars.
Okay, and now I'm through.
From there, it's back into the Corvette for one last acceleration test.
The final component to this, getting around here and taking that last straightaway at 60 kilometers an hour.
Then they simply need to slow down and come to a safe, sensible stop.
I wonder if Canada's worst drivers are going to be safe or sensible.
Jason has pole position.
This could be the start of the finish of Jason Zhang.
To start this all-important challenge, Jason drives about as well as a drunk monkey.
Keep going.
Oh, that's impossible.
Oh, we better stop. There's something wrong. There's something really wrong.
Do I hate someone?
Going 30 kilometers an hour, Jason steered directly into 4 things before even trying to slow down.
What happened just then?
I lost control, actually.
At 30?
Yeah.
I've been doing this show for 3 years now. That is single-handedly the worst piece of driving I have ever witnessed.
Jason resumes the challenge with the swerve and avoid.
But he sure won't avoid.
Oh my God.
We made those things out of foam for a reason.
At the rear end spin out, Jason does exactly what he did in the original challenge. Instead of stomping on the gas pedal, he drives in slow circles trying to gather up courage. Eventually, he stops.
This guy's a driving oxymoron.
After 7 laps of the cone, Jason finally manages a controlled fishtail. In the stick shift, Jason makes it to the hill, then starts to melt down. It takes him 4 minutes before he gets in gear and back up to speed.
Good job. Okay, we're switching vehicles.
Guess what happens in the precision steering section? Well, Jason's not very precise.
Oh, it's your side again.
That's okay. Oh. I don't think you can do it all in one shot.
You can't do it in 2 shots either.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, I will move back a little bit more.
Jason's garage trip is ugly, but
I'm willing to bet it's about to get a whole lot uglier.
Jason quickly hits 3 things and nearly hits me.
Come on, Jason. Jason.
Please.
With Adrian silent, Jason is able to scrape through just by the skin of his bumper. Jason is not cursed, but he certainly is challenged. By the time he's done reversing, Jason has backed into 48 things.
All right, get out.
For the final acceleration component,
Minimum 60.
Jason collides going only 40. So he has to try again.
Real close to this side.
This gouged out hole wasn't here 10 seconds ago. When Jason hit the first barrier, the sky almost got hit by flying fiberglass. Them's the brakes, I guess.
You know what? I tried my best, put the efforts. You know, that's me.
Jason is supposed to go to a family event today. Instead, his husband's going alone.
I've got to get a flight to my sister's wedding.
When we come back, Jennifer and Shelby get mega.
I see smoke coming here.
Based on the 3 motoring challenges in this episode, either Jennifer, Shelby, or Jason will be named Canada's worst driver. Jennifer starts her mega challenge run by assessing Jason's damage.
Do better than that.
Okay.
Let's camera.
Jennifer wrestles the Corvette onto the road, then actively steers herself right into an arch. Watch again. Jennifer really did steer into it. In the drive-through donut zone,
Okay.
Jennifer shows no fear and even less control. For the mega challenge, Jennifer is wearing flip-flops, which Scott told her never to do.
Piece of Lotta.
Those shoes are terrible driving shoes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Never drive in shoes like that. If your foot slips off them,
Yeah.
because you have nothing at the back, you're stuck.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So from now on.
Jennifer gets the standard stick shift into gear, no problem.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I'm stalled.
Start right from there and you're good.
There you go. That was... You had it.
Why am I not going?
Just do the same thing you did.
Go, 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 go.
When she finally changes cars, Jennifer spends over half an hour in the garage trying to get turned around.
Now I'm just starting to get really confused. I'm touching this car and I don't...
You're not driving when you hear that grinding sound, are you?
That's why I stopped.
Then it's double the metal on metal.
You're literally touching on the back,
Oh.
and you're literally touching on the front.
Jennifer moves the metal 10 centimeters, then runs into it.
Oh.
Finishing up the reversing section, Jennifer's in despair. 3 minutes later, she's in denial.
I think I did really well. I think I did really, really well.
Jennifer drove really, really badly. Really badly.
There's no way that I am the worst driver in Canada. There's no way. It's just like, that's not even possible.
Shelby is trying to start with the parking brake on.
The heck? Was it?
Put it down.
Yeah.
We don't call this Canada's worst driver for nothing. Shelby starts with a rare driver's side hit. Then he accelerates to the skid and swerve. And he executes the tricky turn. But in the rear end slide, the barrels get executed.
Ah, shoot.
Stop, stop.
After 6 tries, Shelby does manage a controlled spin out. That means it's clutch time.
No. Oh, shoot.
Shelby gets going and speeds his way to the hill start.
I smell the burning of the clutch again.
Getting the car up and over
Oh, boy. I see smoke coming here.
takes Shelby 9 attempts. If Shelby forms a heavy metal band, he should call it
Burning clutch.
in the precision steering section. Shelby's anxiety is taking over. He's begun to think getting through quickly is more important than getting through cleanly.
Oh. He's a bull in a china store.
We've actually worked really, really well at being a rehabilitation center. People have gotten better as drivers. And then there's Shelby and Jason. They are better, but they still just literally shouldn't drive.
Man. I mean, that's at low speed, Shelby. Look where you want. Look in the opening.
8 minutes after leaving the garage,
Stop, stop.
Shelby's hit 12 things.
You gotta turn.
Oh, flip.
Just because you're backing up doesn't mean that your front end no longer exists, Shelby. Your front end exists.
Oh, my mirror.
Don't, there's glass on it. Don't worry about it.
Because we're in a driving school, I'm supposed to not get frustrated, not get exasperated. I'm just supposed to keep a positive attitude.
But the only thing I'm positive about is that Shelby will need more help when he leaves here.
If Shelby's to get his license back, he's got to start thinking differently. He's got to start thinking like a driver, take in responsibility.
Come on. Run. I have to beat someone.
On the final acceleration test, there's nothing Shelby can do to salvage his run.
That's part of the eye of the needle right there, and that's part of the car right there, and that's another part of the car. Ooh.
The next time Shelby drives, it will be in public with me as a passenger.
I'll see you in my truck this afternoon.
I'm really not thrilled about driving Andrew's vehicle. It's not the fact that I will get into an accident or intend to get into an accident, but there's a reason why you buy insurance.
When we come back, it's the final public road test for Canada's worst drivers.
Don't do that!
Should the final candidates for Canada's worst driver have ever received a driver's license in the first place? We're about to find out.
The last challenge for the final 3 candidates of Canada's worst driver is to chauffeur me around the public streets of Barrie, Ontario in my own truck. During that drive, I'll be adjudicating their actions as if we were on a real driver's license exam. Hey, let me get my seatbelt on at least.
First to drive the replicated license exam is Jennifer.
I'm going to mark any infraction you make, and afterwards we'll tell you whether or not you should have a license.
Okay.
On this test, Canada's worst drivers will be asked to make 35 turns.
Turn right on Bayfield.
Turn right.
And they will be asked to demonstrate certain skills that are compulsory on an Ontario road test. Things like merging onto a highway, which Jennifer does without a hitch.
Nice. Take left on Cundles.
If drivers miss a turnoff,
And that was Kendall's.
they have to figure out their own route back. Jennifer gets off the highway and turned around.
So now you're on Cundles? That's a good recovery? You didn't get flustered or nothing?
Jennifer knows the speed limit is...
I think it's 50.
Right? So why are you driving 60?
On a real road test, that would be an automatic failure.
Any one infraction of violation of the law will fail the personal road test.
Not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign would also be a failure. Same penalty for not stopping at a flashing red.
There's a flashing yellow.
And taking up 2 lanes to pull into a Tim Hortons drive-thru? Well, that would just be Canadian. Getting ready for the parking component,
Watch that pedestrian.
I know, I saw her.
Jennifer makes another violation.
Stopping in a lane without signaling.
What signal do you put on?
The right side blinker or the hazard lights.
All 4 wheels are inside. I'd call that a perpendicular parking job.
Hey!
Well done.
Pulling back out, Jennifer could be a little more considerate.
Okay.
Jennifer says her problem is...
I just stopped paying attention.
But really, it's a sense of entitlement.
I hate bicycles.
Jennifer thinks she should be allowed to drive with the rest of us, even though she really doesn't know how to.
You've rolled through a couple of stop signs and you've gone
I think that's a
60
bad
and 50.
habit.
It's an incredibly bad habit, especially considering you did it just then when we were talking about it.
The driver's exam ends with parallel parking. Jennifer tries 1,
No, that's wrong. I can tell.
2,
I can't believe I can't get this.
3, 4, 5 times before bouncing in.
Okay.
If this were a real exam, Jennifer would have failed 4 times.
I don't think I'm a bad driver anymore.
Jason is terrified by this drive.
Your nerves all right?
No,
He's been tense about it since yesterday.
no, I would rather not have you beside me, making me no more nervous.
Well, you're gonna have me beside you.
Okay.
But you better show up as a driver who hasn't given up.
All right.
Okay, because you got my life in your hand.
All right.
Buck up, buddy.
Okay.
Jason doesn't normally drive on the highway.
Oh, my.
Entering the merge lane, he doesn't like what he sees coming, so he doesn't merge. Ever.
Oh, dear.
Well, with lots of merge lanes still in front of him, Jason stops cold.
Okay, now you're on Highway 400, one of the deadliest highways in the country, and you're stopped. This is no way to drive, man. You must be traveling when you merge. Jumpins, there's a car coming there, Jason. Don't merge now.
Going 45 kilometers an hour, Jason enters the 100 k/h traffic flow.
You gotta drive with the traffic. That was an exciting merge. You don't do much merging, hey? Your next command is to exit on Duckworth Street, okay?
Some people can't walk and chew gum. Jason can't drive and read signs.
Okay, so you missed the Duckworth Street exit. Take the very next exit.
Right.
What did that sign we just passed say?
I didn't see the sign.
You didn't see a sign?
No.
Aren't you looking for an exit?
I'm trying to, but...
Rather than drive all the way to Sudbury, I show Jason the exit ramp that will take us back to the 400 going south.
Looking for the sign, go to 400 south.
200 meters later, Jason approaches the sign, then drives past it.
No, that's a big sign that says 400 South, Barrie.
When I get Jason headed the right direction...
Stay on the road, man. On the pavement.
He still doesn't want to merge.
So, now get ready to get out of this lane because it ends, right?
Jason scares off the other traffic, then he drives away from the open lane.
Holy smokes, man.
I can't.
If Jason doesn't, he'll run out of road. Jason has to get into another right lane that's coming up soon.
Do it now.
What? There is no other lane now. You have to wait until the other lane appears, Jason.
When we come back, if Jason doesn't kill the truck...
No, I just said don't do that. Don't do that!
Shelby will get to drive.
I could end up killing someone, and then sorry doesn't cut it, oops doesn't cut it, nothing quite cuts that.
We're conducting a simulated driver's license test as the final challenge to determine Canada's worst driver. So far, on the highway, Jason's made 3 moves that would have failed him on a real exam.
Yeah, thanks, buddy, yeah.
Back in the city, Jason cuts off the only other car in a vacant parking lot. And he cuts off the only other person on a road. He stops at green lights.
I thought I'm gonna turn.
And he stops on the street.
Wait a minute. Oh, Jesus.
You're on the street. Stop. You can't do that.
There are times when I am truly scared.
Whoa!
And there are times when I am truly exasperated.
You're in the left turn lane.
Yeah.
Now you're turning into the right lane. That's pretty damn wacky, my friend.
And there's even one time when I'm in an intersection.
That's a red light that belongs to you.
Going backwards.
This is an exciting piece of driving.
This guy sees Jason driving for less than a minute.
That's unbelievable.
And he thinks we're joking.
That guy's for real.
That guy's for real.
Wow. Don't bring him back to this city, please.
Then Jason decides to save the planet by turning off his engine.
Okay, I'm just...
Why do you do that?
Environment.
For the environment.
Stop emission.
So whenever you come to a red, you turn it all off?
Yeah.
When he turns it back on, he waits a second, then turns the key again.
Don't do that to my vehicle. Turn it on once only. No, I just said don't do that. Don't do that. It's on.
What am I gonna do?
Drive.
Jeez. Your vehicle must be very quiet. I can't
Not
hear.
really. It's a 15-year-old pickup truck.
I'm so sorry.
There's a stop sign at the next intersection, and flashing red lights, and Jason barely slows down.
You just ran a stop sign.
Okay.
That brings us to parking.
No, I don't think I can. You know what? I can't.
Drivers in Barrie are so polite, no one honks.
It's your own horn.
Oh. Yeah, actually, I like this town. Even though I didn't look around, but it's quite nice.
Headed for the end of the course, Jason stops at a yield sign.
When nothing's coming, you're allowed to turn right, Jason. Thank you.
But he cruises through a stop sign.
Okay, you just rolled right through a stop sign.
Oh, I just watched in front. I did not pay attention.
Getting into the final parking space takes Jason 1, 2, 3 tries.
Okay, I'm done.
You done?
Yep.
Put it in park, man, please. Please put it in park. Oh.
Jason shouldn't be driving. It's that simple.
So what do you think? Are you Canada's worst driver?
I hate to be the kind of the worst driver.
Shelby is more nervous than Jason.
I'm really not thrilled about driving Andrew's vehicle. That kind of stunned me that he would actually give me his personal vehicle to risk out on the roads.
All right, you buckled up?
Yes, I am.
Shelby drives from his condo to work every day. Merging onto the highway, Shelby's fine.
And that's a real driver's merge there. That's a good one.
When a driver cuts him off,
What a freaking idiot.
Shelby's fine. But when he gets to an intersection,
Now you're at a green light doing nothing. You do something.
he's not so fine.
You know, at a stop sign, you want to stop until there's no traffic coming, hey?
Yeah.
Why aren't you turning left now, though?
Oh.
You have to go right on Cundles. Don't slow down for a green light.
Okay, and I've got to turn.
Okay. There's pedestrians!
Oops.
Why did you turn left there?
Because there was a turn lane and I had a green light.
This drive is supposed to take exactly an hour.
You're going backwards when there's a green light in front of you.
Yeah, I thought he might need to back up.
Shelby's already been driving for 70 minutes.
Oh boy, what was the next one?
And he's only at the halfway point.
Okay, so you're going to have to concentrate because your last direction was right on Livingston, and we just went through there. Now you're off course. You're aware of that, right?
We've gone in every other direction, so we must be in the right direction.
I'm not so sure about that.
It's getting dark, which won't help Shelby with the signs.
See that sign over there? What does that say?
Oh, no right turn.
Left on Simcoe.
And I just missed that turn.
You sure did?
And that's pretty much the way it goes. Until we reach the checkered flag.
All right, we're almost parked.
When he gets parked, Shelby's oblivious to the obvious.
Okay, I'll take
So did
the
I
keys.
pass?
No.
No.
Shelby made 4 moving violations. He shouldn't have a driver's license.
I thought I'd do well. I took a few wrong turns, and then everything seems to go downhill from there.
I think we should get in a taxi now and go to that bar and have a beer.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Taxi!
After the break, someone is named Canada's worst driver.
It's a...
It's time to decide who is Canada's worst driver. The experts and I are basing our decision on the 3 challenges in this final episode. That's the driving in a straight line challenge.
Oh, you did it!
Did I did it?
The Mega Challenge,
Whoops.
and the public drive-through Barrie.
That's a red light that belongs to you. Now you're in the intersection. This is an exciting piece of driving.
I think I did really, really well.
We start by agreeing that Jennifer is not Canada's worst driver.
I feel comfortable with her getting her license back.
Dr. Gambora?
I would agree completely.
We also agree that as drivers, neither Jason nor Shelby are rehabilitated.
Jason, absolutely a horror show. Shelby, an absolute horror show of a different variety.
I think they can be paralleled.
For example, they can't competently reverse. They both can't thread the needle.
Oh, shoot.
Swerving equals total chaos and danger. They're disasters in tight spaces. And based on the final challenge,
You don't have the right of way.
neither one of them should even have a driver's license.
There's pedestrians!
I'll be the worst. I have a feeling.
I'm thinking I'm probably going to get the title.
let's just cast our vote, and as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go down and give either Jason or Shelby back their license. Who's it gonna be?
It's time to close the Rehabilitation Center for another year, which means we're about to name Canada's worst driver. Jennifer, I am afraid that I have to give you this back. And I do mean afraid. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Shelby.
You're our last graduate for this season, and you're not Canada's worst driver.
Thank you.
Jennifer came here as a shameless hit-and-runner.
I always drive away after I hit cars.
We made her deal with her mistakes.
And I just wanted to call and apologize and say that I was sorry and that I would pay for any damages.
We also taught Jennifer how to operate a vehicle safely.
I had no idea that a vehicle would do that. None.
In both directions.
I've learned so much, and I really did deserve to go home and to not be the worst.
Have a safe ride home.
Thank you. I'm the last graduate.
That leaves Jason, who can't drive in a straight line, and Shelby, who almost hit 100 things in the Mega Challenge.
Whoops. So, which one of you is worse? It all came down to the final challenge. Our experts have reviewed the footage, and they've reached a unanimous decision. Canada's worst driver is Jason.
Jason arrived at rehab with more problems than any driver we'd ever encountered.
Jason, stop. Jason, stop! Thank you.
Why do we stop here?
Because there's a stop sign and there's lots of
Stop
crosswalks.
sign out there, the far away.
After daily private lessons, customized tutorials, and all 24 challenges,
I think you need to be more... Ah! Turn that side!
Jason was still forgetting to do basic things, like steering and braking.
Braking. No.
We were able to make drastic improvements in all aspects of his driving.
I'm just happy to say, I'm standing here as totally new Jason.
Let's keep going.
But in the end, Jason hasn't been rehabilitated.
This is no way to drive.
And as we said before, Shelby's not fully rehabilitated either.
Shelby, that means that you are not a graduate of the rehab center, but you are someone who gets their driver's license back.
Right, thanks.
During his time in rehab, Shelby learned more than anyone.
Yeah, I did it!
He got the hang of tricky maneuvers like skid turns and donuts.
Woo! Woo! Oh my God! I'm gonna puke on you, man.
And he learned to ride a bike.
I love Canada's worst driver too. I didn't know I'd get so much out of this.
Shelby couldn't quite soak up enough information, though. In the end, graduating him would have been irresponsible.
I'm not too happy about not graduating. That is kind of a downer. But at least I am not Canada's worst driver.
Bye!
Canada's worst driver, Jason, gets this ugly trophy, and we are giving him back his license, but we aren't recommending he use it.
We've put it in a safe place for you, okay? Leave it in there for the sake of yourself and for all Canadians.
All right.
Take that as a souvenir of your time here.
All right.
Jason's walking away without any argument.
I will totally accept, the decision. Based on driving, it is dangerous.
And the best news? He'll never drive again.
That's the end of my driving career. Yeah.
Sleep easy, Vancouver. From here on in, Jason Zhang will be taking the bus.
Hey, Jason.
Hello,
how are you?
sir?
I'm good. You need a ride home?
Yes, please.
And look what I brought for you, man.
Thank you.
All right, hey, all right.
All right. Let's go.
Wait a second. If Jason has retired from driving, That means he's being taken home by Canada's worst driver.
Yeah, we're gonna make it home, man. Whoops.